I just love being uncomfortable. So putting myself in uncomfortable situations and yeah, make the best out of it. And then you come out stronger and you conquer. So I think that's going to...
Breaking news. Rico Verhoeven shocks everyone with a brutal sparring performance, dropping Tyson Fury's sparring partner with huge power. Fighters around the gym are left stunned as Rico's strength, speed, and aggression raise serious questions about what could happen on fight night.
I started training with Peter Fury like in 2010, 2011, so that's quite a while back.
And you used to train with Tyson Fury back in the day as well? You sparred with him?
Yeah, we came in as a sparring.
Rico speaks like a true chess player and says he can already see holes in Usyk's game that nobody else is talking about. He says Usyk plays chess while everyone else plays checkers, but Rico has studied him carefully and is coming with a game plan that will shock the entire world completely on fight night.
Rowing, biking, takes a break, eats again, takes a little nap, back in the gym again like 2 hours, and then he's sparring, boxing, doing all that workout, then eats, takes a break, relaxes a little bit. Evening session is boxing. An evening session, he's sparring, he's hitting mitts, he's hitting the bag, gets up in the morning and does it all over again.
Usyk makes it absolutely clear that this Rico fight is 100% real and serious for him, and nobody should think otherwise for even 1 second. He says people see it as a show, but for him, it is pure fighting business from start to finish. Usyk is not underestimating Rico and is preparing like his championship life depends on it.
Definitely, I definitely see some holes, but he's playing chess while everybody's playing checkers.
Yeah.
And that's, yeah, to be honest, that's what I love to see, because for me, that's how I approached kickboxing as well, and my opponents, because I also fought like multiple guys like 2 or 3 times and just keep doing it and keep beating them in a better way and becoming a better version of yourself and staying focused and staying mentally strong.
Derek Chisora delivers the most brutally honest warning of everything, telling Rico straight that if he does not go in there and knock Usyk out completely, then Usyk is going to become the worst nightmare of his entire life and career. Chisora says Rico must go for the finish from the very first second, or Usyk will pick him apart and destroy him completely.
It's real fight. It's a dangerous guy. This is 50% show, 50% fight. But for me, it's 100% fight, because I very serious in the training, my plan. But many people wanna show. Okay, no problem.
Rico pushes back hard against every single doubter and says people are only seeing one side of his story and completely ignoring everything he has done to prepare for Usyk. He says just because you do not know his story does not mean he does not have one. And when he steps into that ring with Usyk, the whole world is going to see something they never expected and never prepared themselves for. Rico is not here for a payday. He is here to knock Usyk out and take everything.
But I will say this to AJ, don't let that guy knock you out, because that will be fucking nightmares forever. But 1 or 2, put it this way, AJ has...
Usyk laughs off Rico knocking out Tyson Fury's sparring partner and reduces the whole thing to a simple blah blah blah. He finds it absolutely hilarious that Rico is training with Fury and thinks that makes him dangerous. Usyk has beaten Fury himself and knows exactly what that camp produces, and it clearly is not champions. Rico can train with whoever he wants, but Usyk is not losing 1 single second of sleep over any of it.
Rico, you got a big fight coming up against Alexander Usyk. A lot of talk about this fight. Some people are saying that this might not be the most competitive of fights, but you're there to upset the apple cart. You're there to prove the doubters wrong. What do you want to say to people about that?
Everybody can have their opinion, but the thing is that they're only shining a light on one side of the story, because just because you don't know my story doesn't mean I don't have a story.
Usyk drops the most savage and direct message of the entire build-up, telling Tyson Fury straight to stop whining, stop ducking, and be a real man instead of running around making excuses and playing dirty games. He says Fury has no business teaming up with Rico and helping him train because a real champion faces his opponents alone without needing backup or sneaky alliances behind the scenes. Usyk has completely run out of patience with Fury's cowardly tactics and makes it crystal clear. Stop the nonsense. Stop the ducking. Face him properly like a real fighter. And stop hiding behind Rico like the big scared dosser he truly is.
Every time a lot of speak, hey, you bodybuilder, you sausage, you blah blah blah, you blah 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 blah. Yeah, but we joke about.
Tyson Fury explodes and calls Usyk a dosser and a big bum while threatening ill fists if he does not back down immediately. He says Usyk is going to end up with a massive knot on his head by fighting against Rico if he keeps pushing his luck in front of everybody watching. Fury is completely fired up and making it crystal clear that all of Usyk's technical brilliance, all his chess playing, and all his championship experience will mean absolutely nothing when the Gypsy King finally gets his hands on him and puts the lights out for good.
Greedy belly. Rematch clause comes from your side, not mine. Stop whining and ducking. Be a man. Ink the contract or vacate the belt. I need undisputed. And
Eddie Hearn admits the Rico versus Usyk fight is something his side is genuinely interested in, but then drops the most important and most chilling line of everything. He says some people might actually see this as a more dangerous option, especially when there is so much riding on every single result right now. Eddie is sending Rico a direct warning. Yes, he has knocked out sparring partners, and yes, his power is real and frightening. But stepping into the ring with Usyk is a completely different and far more dangerous universe that no amount of sparring knockouts or brutal training sessions can ever fully prepare any fighter for, no matter how strong or how ready they believe they truly are.
Hey, you're not ready, Dawson, are you?
Man, some water.
You big bum.
Or ice pack, because you got an eel head right now.
Yeah, I'll have ill fists in a minute if you
and
keep
after the
on.
fight, you're going to have a knot.
Adam Smith praises Rico and says he has been absolutely fantastic throughout this entire build-up, adding real spark, electricity, and genuine attraction to the whole fight promotion. He notices a real maturity in the way Rico has carried himself and says he spoke really well every single time he had the chance. Smith's positive reaction is huge because this is a respected boxing voice who perhaps doubted Rico at the start, but is now sitting up straight and giving him full credit after watching him knock out Tyson Fury's sparring partner and prepare like a true professional champion for the biggest fight of his entire life.
To go into that fight next. That's not the basis of the deal that we've been offered, but it's definitely one we're interested in if it was offered, and if they want to look at that route. I think some might perceive that to be a more dangerous option, especially when there's so much riding on.
Mike Tyson gives Rico one of the greatest compliments any fighter could ever dream of receiving from the most feared heavyweight who ever lived, calling him a great fighter and predicting he will become a legend if he keeps fighting at this level. Iron Mike says he has never seen anyone as big as Rico move the way he does, and that combination of size and movement is what makes him so uniquely dangerous and so difficult to prepare for properly. When the man who defined knockout power in the heavyweight division speaks about another fighter with this level of genuine respect and excitement in his voice, the entire boxing world stops everything it is doing and listens very carefully, because Mike Tyson does not give away compliments like this to fighters who do not truly deserve every single word.
God, no, I think it's been fantastic, but of course he's going to say that. He adds a spark, he adds an electricity, he adds an attraction, and I thought he spoke really well today. I think there's a maturity about him. Interestingly, there was...
Rico saves his biggest and boldest statement for the very end and delivers it with complete confidence and zero hesitation, predicting the biggest upset in sports history and saying the whole world is going to see him become WBC World Heavyweight Champion by defeating fighters like Usyk. He says they're going to make history and write history together, and every person who doubted him and dismissed him is going to have to sit there and watch it happen right in front of their eyes with absolutely nothing they can do to stop it. Rico has knocked out Fury's sparring partner, trained like an absolute machine, studied Usyk's weaknesses carefully, And now he is standing in front of the whole world, making the biggest promise of his life, with the kind of conviction that only a man who truly believes in himself completely can deliver without even blinking once.
He's a great fighter.
You think he's a great fighter? But what do they think? What do you think about them comparing him to you? I mean, you're a legend, my friend.
Well, he'll be one too if he keeps fighting.
Oh, okay.
So why I think that is I've never seen anyone who was as big as this kid move as well as he does. For you to be that big, like...
The boxing world admits openly that they hate the Rico versus Usyk fight and cannot stand it, but then immediately acknowledges why it is impossible to completely ignore. They understand that having one of the greatest kickboxers of all time stepping into boxing to face the unified heavyweight champion creates a massive spectacle whether the purists like it or not. But after watching Rico knock out Tyson Fury's sparring partner with brutal and terrifying power, even the people who hate this fight the most are now asking themselves one very uncomfortable question. What if Rico actually has what it takes to shock Usyk and the entire boxing world on fight night?
The final word with you in your fight with Alexander Usyk, what happens?
Ooh, what happens? You see the biggest upset in sports history. We're gonna make history, we're gonna write history, and you're gonna see Rico become WBC World Heavyweight Champion.
Tony Bellew closes everything with the most powerful verdict of all, saying he doubted Rico once because of the size and experience gap. But after watching him knock out Tyson Fury's sparring partner with that kind of brutal and terrifying power, he is never doubting this man again. He says Rico has adjusted and adapted everything about his game specifically for this fight, and is arriving in the most complete and most dangerous condition of his entire career. Bellew's growing respect for Rico is the clearest sign, yet that the boxing world is slowly and nervously waking up to the frightening reality that this upset might actually be closer to happening than anyone was ever willing to admit.
You know, be more open about my opinions on this fight. I fucking hate this fight. I can't stand it. I understand the circus nature of it in terms of like big name kickboxer, one of the best of all time, if not the best of all time, coming in to fight an all-time great in the boxing space in his sport.
What you have just watched is not simply a sparring session highlight or a training camp update. This is the moment the entire boxing world was forced to stop, pay attention, and completely reassess everything it thought it knew about a man named Rico who walked into this sport from kickboxing and was dismissed, laughed at, and written off before he even had the chance to throw a single punch in anger against a real boxing opponent. Rico knocking out Tyson Fury's sparring partner with that kind of brutal and terrifying power was not just a training camp moment. It was a statement sent directly to Usyk, to Eddie Hearn, to the boxing establishment, and to every single person who said this fight was a circus and a joke, and that Rico had absolutely no business sharing a ring with the unified heavyweight champion of the world. Joe Rogan broke down his insane training schedule and showed a man who wakes up every single morning and pushes his body to the absolute limit twice a day, every day, without complaint or excuse. Rico himself said he loves being uncomfortable and that every uncomfortable situation makes him stronger and better and more dangerous than he was the day before. He studied Usyk like a chess player, identified holes in his game, drew on years of kickboxing experience fighting the same opponents multiple times and beating them better each time, and is now standing in front of the whole world with a game plan and a level of preparation that has genuinely shocked and surprised people who expected him to be nothing more than a big name making up the numbers on a heavyweight card. Tony Bellew's respect is growing. Adam Smith called him fantastic and mature. Eddie Hearn admitted the concern is real. Derek Chisora warned that Rico must go for the knockout or Usyk becomes his nightmare forever. And through all of it, Usyk laughed and said blah blah blah. But even the champion himself admitted this is 100% a real fight, and he is preparing with complete and total seriousness because he has seen what happens when champions underestimate opponents, and he is absolutely not going to let that happen to him on the biggest night of his current campaign. Rico is strong. Rico is ready. Rico is hungry. And Rico just knocked out the Gypsy King's sparring partner like it was nothing at all. And the whole boxing world is now asking the one question nobody dared ask before that sparring footage came out and changed everything completely.